All right, here's a good idea if you use a lot of deer urine, doe and heat urine for cover, scent, everything else. I've seen it work. I've had bucks walk right into me, and I'm just because I just doused myself in the deer urine, walk right into me. Like, and I'm like, holy crap, in the dark and shit. And I'm like, oh man, I'm about to get attacked. So they flash them with the light. They just like walk off because the green light. You gotta use the green light. It doesn't scare them the same way. They're just like, what? They just walked off. But yeah, it was crazy. I've had to walk in during bear season because I've used it for cover scent. It's like, so, but you go through a lot of money buying that because it's like, man, I like to use a lot, and that it works. When it works, it works. It doesn't work every time, but when it works, it freaking works, dude. And we just had a spike come walking in for my daughter, just walking right to us. So, so you're gonna spend a lot of money if you want to buy this stuff and use it properly, because it does not work the same if you don't use a lot of it. I've noticed that you just fucking douse yourself in it and douse whatever in it, and that's when you have the good chances. So I was like, man, spend all this money on it. So then I was like, well, dude, there's got to be a better way. So what I did was I looked up bulk deer urine, and I tried this Paul Pollock's deer urine. I got a half gallon of deer urine for like $70 or something, and then it was like some shipping. I think after tax, everything was like $100 for a half gallon of doe and heat urine. I looked up, people were like, this is the best stuff, whatever. I mean, it had anal and sex glands, so I was like, bro, like I'm getting turned on just smelling this stuff. Like, woo, like a fucking butt. Anyways, so I was like, man, hey, there's a deer right there. I'm going out to camp. I ended up having to take a nap in a lot of deer. I ended up having to take a nap in the freaking gas station parking lot because my eyes were like I was really drunk or something. Anyways, back to the fucking memo, dude. So what I did was I took the half gallon, and then I opened it up. It was so fresh. There's no ammonia smell, not on anything. It wasn't like overwhelmingly like boom in your face. Like some of them, when you smell them, you're like, wow, that's some potent stuff. Like this was it just smelled more like regular urine, maybe like a well hydrated deer or something. But yeah, so I took and I bought 24 of these, and for like $20 on Amazon, and I figured that would be enough. Like I figured, just because it was like, oh, 4-ounce bottles, and I did the calculations, I was like, yeah, I should be plenty. So then I did that, but then I'm like, oh, because I wanted to freeze it, because, you know, it's like as soon as it hits air, it starts to like degrade, and you only have so many days. You only really have like a few days before it starts becoming ammonia. And so I was like, man, it's got to be something I can do. So I was like, I'll just freaking freeze it, like whatever. So then I did that, put it in a thing, ended up, it was saving about that much in the top for expansion. Then I was like, only went through like little over half the gallon. So I'm like, crap. So I had to order more, but I froze the whole thing, put it into that, and be getting 36 of these for freaking 100. It was about $100, and then plus like 40 or whatever, 40 something for the bottles. But I'll have the bottles forever unless they start smashing. Like I dropped one while I was trying to use it, and it smashed. But other than that, like, so if you invest in the bottles, then you buy the deer urine. It's like, man, you're good for like pretty much a whole season if you buy this half gallon at one time. It's that, and it's like, bro, I would spend probably like $300 or something on just freaking deer urine over the season. So, and you can say what you want, it only works pre-rut, it only works during the rut and the pre-rut. It's like, dude, I've seen it work during bear season. I've had bucks walk into me. I've had bucks walk into me. I got a buck 2 years ago. I was freaking up in a stand. I sprayed the stuff, and this was late. This was like the last week of rifle. Sprayed the stuff. This buck comes walking right into me. So it's like, I don't care what people say about, oh, it only works like this. No, it works all the time. Like at any time that the bucks are out looking still, it's going to work. It might not work as good, but if he's still like on the prowl, like you can use it, and you can use it to your advantage. You know, and it's a great cover scent. And I personally really enjoy the smell, because over the years, you know, you just use it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's deer season, man. That's like the fragrance of the whole season. So that's just a little piece of advice if you like to use it. And I know people will go, oh, it doesn't do anything about it. But, you know, it works. Trust me, it works. You just keep using it, and it'll work. And use a lot of it, and it'll work. It's just a lot of people don't. They're not like, I'm not gonna waste the money on it. I'm like, dude, I understand how deer scent. Like everything they do is scent. We're like, whole rut. He's scent checking the whole area. It's like, okay, well, maybe you have like a wind. I think this is when they come in. Is when you have a wind that's like kind of like, so it'll shift to this way, and then you'll be like, oh, there's a shitty wind for like a second, and then it'll shift back to doing what it's supposed to do. I think during that shift, if you have some dirtier and going that way, all he catches is that he might catch a little of you, but he catches that deer urine stuff. He's gonna be like, oh well, I'm headed that way. Like that's where I'm going. And so that's what I think. That's when I think it's the best. I don't think it's like if it's just one direction, it might work. I don't know. There's my speculation. You know, this is my speculation. So, but yeah, it definitely works. You just got to use enough of it, and for enough, and you're gonna see more deer. Right? So, yeah, there you have it. Little hack. Let's say little